All right, welcome back to Home Based Business 101. I am Meredith Banka, your host and founder of the Side Gig Gurus. And I'm excited today to have a good friend of mine that I've actually never met in person, but I love the way that we've connected virtually over the last couple of years. This is Janice Patterson, and she is the founder and owner of J.A.M Consulting. She's got an incredible background in government work. She's just an absolute expert project manager. She's also a mom to a beautiful little girl and an entrepreneur in her own right. So welcome, Janice. I'm so glad you're here today.
Thank you so much, Meredith, and thank you so much for that introduction. Making me feel good.
Yeah, right. It's always something when somebody else introduces you and you're like, oh yeah, I did do that. I have
Yeah,
done it, right? I am getting it. I
yeah,
am getting somewhere, which is so
yeah.
cool. And you and I met through a digital marketing platform. And really what I want to focus today's conversation around is finding your passion in your business. And so if we go back, a couple years when you and I met, you were doing something entirely different than what you're doing today. So tell us,
Yes,
how did your
absolutely.
journey as an entrepreneur start?
Yes, absolutely. So, the way Meredith and I met, sometimes I think is fate. And to be honest with you, Meredith, and I've actually never said this to you, before, but I'm gonna put it out there now on camera. Like, you have had like such a great impact, not just on business for me, but also on my personal life, right? So when we initially connected, my goal was really to get people to join my network marketing opportunity. And let's step back a little bit. Prior
Yeah.
to joining the network marketing company, I actually decided that I wanted a change in my life. And I went on this whole figuring out my purpose and trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. Now, I have experience in government contracting and I have a background experience in project management, but it still wasn't, fulfilling that deep down urge that you have in the bottom of your stomach because you know you're able to do more. So
Mhm.
even though I was impacting people's life by, policy changes, that would take some time to happen. And I really wanted that instant gratification of knowing that I impacted someone's life. So I decided that I was going to start doing my own thing, stop giving away my service for free because I was always everyone's go to for everything. And then I started charging. So this was at the end of 2019. I started charging for planning trips, writing an essay for someone. I just started to charge people for whatever they asked me to do.
Mhm.
And then fast forward to 2020, right before the pandemic, January, someone approached me with a network marketing opportunity. And typically I would shy away from network marketing opportunities because I'm like, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not trying to get anyone to sign up for anything. So I'm like, not interested. That's usually how I am. But with this opportunity, it was in the financial sector and the services that they offered, I used the services myself before actually deciding that I wanted to promote their service to anyone. So I used the service for a couple months and I saw a drastic change for myself. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone needs this. So I started to tell everyone in my circle, that is. So I told the family, told the friends, no one was interested. Can't blame them, right? Because I wasn't interested in network marketing either. So then I started to look for ways to market online. And that is how I ended up getting into your network. And that has just kind of rippled into something completely new since then. I joined the program and I went through, but what I thought I was going to get from the program was leads. I wanted leads for my business. I wanted to build out the team. And so I signed up with the intention of getting leads. But what I got from the program was something completely different. Now, although I was able to have people become a part of the opportunity with me, I did get the leads. I got something completely more valuable. And I got that mindset shift. And this is why I was saying before that you don't really know the impact that you've had on my life because all those
Mhm.
mindset lessons that we went through, it gave me the opportunity to look at my life holistically, right? Not just looking at it from a business sense, but also looking at everything else that was going on within my life that eventually impacted business because I wasn't able to focus, or I wasn't able to put the time in that I needed to, because I was just so distracted with all of my personal things going on. Since then, life has completely changed. Got a divorce.
That's a big change.
That's a huge change. Got a divorce. I ended up giving up everything that I had built over the past several years, and walked away from everything and decided that I was going to start new. And in doing that, I was just so much happier, right? I wasn't looking at the stuff that I had lost. I wasn't looking at the house. I wasn't looking at all the things that I had invested within that relationship. I was more so looking at the future and the possibilities and the things that I could now do, because my mind was now open and receptive to,
Mhm.
what the universe had to offer. So I left it. And I ran with the network marketing, looking to build the company. But in looking to build the company, I have learned how to brand myself. I have learned that I am the business, and I'm not just marketing for another company. I am
Mhm.
marketing myself. I am building myself. I am building my business. So that transitioned into getting people into business, and it transitioned into the coaching, and it transitioned into people asking for more, wanting me to do more, wanting me to help them with, well, how did you brand yourself? How do you create the website? How do you build authority, pretty much?
Mhm.
And from the coaching, that then led into the full-on consultant, that I actually now offer a full-on done-for-you service, where we do branding, we do the web design, we do the SEO, and we help entrepreneurs develop digital marketing strategies to actually grow their business. So I
Mhm.
know that was a lot.
Yeah, but it's so important though. My whole goal with this season of Home Based Business 101 is to just have women share their stories of entrepreneurship, because I think, you can see it in the news almost every day. There's so many people, so many women out there who want to take the leap into owning their own business, even if it's something on the side, but they just can't quite figure out how to get started. And so by just sharing your story, know that you're speaking into someone, and you're helping someone who's listening to this and thinking to themselves, okay, I'm not happy where I'm at either. I want to find my joy. I want to find my passion. I want to find my purpose. And I want to go out and do good in the world through business. And I think so often as women, we carry this story with us that's a total farce, that we can't do good and make money at the same time.
Right.
Right. And you're living proof that we absolutely can, because you are living your passion now. You're helping so many people, and you get paid to do it.
And you
Right.
get to do it. Yeah.
But making that mindset shift, there's a little bit of a money story there. There's a little bit of a value story there. So was there a moment where you were like, wait a minute, I'm going about this in a way that's not working for me. I'm going about this in a way that it's not making sense. I got to change something. Like, was there a kind of a moment that it popped for you and you were like, you got real clear on what you wanted to have happen?
So, I've had a couple of those moments over the past couple of years. The first moment for me was when I decided to take that leap and go with the network marketing opportunity. That was the first one, because that for me was completely new, and I'm like, all right, you asked for a change, and this is a change. And within that change, I had an expectation of what was going to happen, but that's not what really happened, right? Sometimes in life we go through these phases, that we think aren't significant. Whether it's you having, difficulties, whether it's you um, learning something new, it all impacts who you are in that moment
Mhm.
today, right? It all helps you to build, it all helps you to grow. There's a lesson in literally everything in life.
Mhm.
And I think for me, those moments happened, I wouldn't say frequent. I could think of like maybe 3 or 4 different times in which the moments happened. And the network marketing opportunity was one. And even though I'm not focused on network marketing now, I know that if I did not join that opportunity, I wouldn't have had the exposure to meet you or the hundreds of entrepreneurs that I met along the way. So that was the first one. And then the second one was when I initially joined the program to be able to learn how to market online. When I joined the program, and I'm gonna put it out there, the program was $6,000. I didn't have $6,000. It wasn't just sitting there just waiting to be spent on a program. I just knew that I needed something different, and I knew that I needed to take action. So I went ahead and I slapped that money on the credit card, and I said, guess what? The credit card is going to be paid back at some point. But I am hopeful, and I know that I am resilient. I know that I am a hard worker. So if I put all that together, the credit card is going to be paid, and I'm going to be able to actually get more than what I actually invested within the program. And that's exactly what happened. So even though it was hard, I decided I'm going to figure it out because I knew that I needed a change. And there's no regrets because there's just been so many doors of opportunities opening one behind the other since then. So I would say listen to your inner voice, right? Listen to that inner voice, and don't don't let fear hold you back from what could be possibly life changing for you. And I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, we allow fear to stop us from, taking the step, or taking that step that could transform your life, because you're more comfortable with sitting down and doing the routine every day. And we try to figure things out before they happen, but we don't have to have it all together.
No.
Like, we literally just need to take the first step. And as you start to step and you start to make that move, then things start to become clear. And I'm not saying that it was all great. Oh, Lord.
No, that's so true. I mean, no, they always say that, like, the journey to entrepreneurship, it looks, if you were to graph it out, it looks kind of like a heart attack, right? Because you have your ups and your downs and your ups and your downs, and sometimes they all happen in the same day or even in the same hour, right? Great news, hard news, good learning, bad learning, all of that comes in together. But the thing that sticks out for me and what you're saying is that you just decided. You decided, and you put something on the line. And for you, what you put on the line was some money that you didn't feel like you had, but you knew that it would push you to find your passion. You knew that if you invested in yourself in some way, you just decided that that was going to be the thing that was going to open doors for you. And look, now, yes, when you and I first met, I was coaching in a program, you joined that program, and now you've taken what you've learned there and turned it into a business with your own unique twist on it. And that's another really important message that I want our listeners to hear from you, is that you're not the only person that does digital marketing consulting. I mean, there's thousands and thousands, but your client list is full. And the reason it's full is because people want to do business with you. They want to do business with Janice because of what you stand for, how you communicate, how you represent yourself, all of this that you have created by being willing to dive in to who you are, your purpose, and it loops right back around to that mindset piece. So I'd love for you to share. So what do you do for your mindset? We kind of, that was something new to me in entrepreneurship as well. I also came into the world of home-based business through network marketing. I think a lot of people do. And one of the things I love about that industry to this day is that there's a huge component of personal development, huge component of personal development. But for a lot of people, this idea of mindset seems kind of like woo, it seems kind of like a little squishy. What does that really mean? How do you really control your mind? So what do you do every day to continue to keep that positive attitude and to continue to find success?
So one of the things that I learned in the program with you was the morning formula. And until today, my morning formula, I hold it near and dear to my heart. And the morning formula is pretty much my routine in the morning time before I kind of, get my day fully going. And I start with spending some time with myself. So that goes from whether I am praying, whether I am, doing the affirmations. I will try to make sure that I get some workout in. And I talk to myself in the future tense of, who it is that I want to be in the future. And I will look in the mirror and I'll remind myself that, okay, Janice, you are strong, you are powerful, you are a great mentor, you have an income of X amount per month. And I put it out there in the universe. And I do that every day because as time goes by, I realize that what it is that I am speaking, what it is that I am putting out is exactly what it is that I'm attracted and what it is that's coming to me. So I try to put it out there. And now, even in the morning time, as I'm getting ready with my daughter, she's now joined in on the morning formula. And she's like, Mommy, are we doing the affirmations today?
That's
I want to
awesome.
do, yeah, I want to do I am. And I'm trying to build a culture where I'm able to instill that in her from early. That way, as she learns and she grows, this is something that's innate to her. It doesn't seem foreign. It doesn't seem like it's something additional that she needs to do in the morning time or throughout her day. But this is something that just happens automatically for her because it helps with how we process. It helps with how we think. It helps with how we deal with the things that happen around us and the way that we look at it. So that morning formula for me is super huge. Another thing is music. Music kind of soothes me. Music warms me. All type of music. Whenever I'm, feeling in a funk and trying to get out of that funk and get focused to getting things done, I'll put the music on and I'll try to
Mhm.
dance as I'm going along and I'm working to kind of, shift my energy a bit and get back into the focus that I need to get
Mhm.
on. And of course, there's so many podcasts out these days. That's another thing. I like to chime in and listen to podcasts or
Mhm.
listen to audiobooks. Sometimes in the entrepreneur world, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do not build a lot of time into reading. I'm gonna be straight up. I don't build the time into reading, but please give me an audiobook
Yeah.
because as I am out and I am, walking or working out in the mornings or as I'm driving, I'm still able to listen in and be able to knock two things out in one shot. So if I'm going to read the book, it's going to take me a while, but if there's an audiobook version, please send me the link.
Yeah, totally. I'm the same way. I mean, just those little nooks and crannies of our life. You and I share in common that we're both moms and business owners. And so you do have to find a way to maximize that time. And, I could just be listening to, top 50 radio, or I can be listening to something that's going to be kind of feeding my soul a little bit. And I'd also highly, highly recommend to you, the people that are thinking, okay, well, how do I get started? What do I do? Allow yourself the space and the time to think of that future state. What do you want your business to look like? What do you want your life to look like? Even if it seems super, super far away, we have, whatever age we've attained, we've been programmed, from the
Mhm.
time we were children, through schooling, through the activities, through our parents. And a lot of that programming has been good, like brush your teeth every day, wash your hair,
Mhm.
make your bed, take care of yourself. But some of that programming has taught us, I think, especially as women, to serve others before we serve ourselves. And I challenge that thinking completely, because as entrepreneurs, we're here to provide a service, whether it's a product, whether it's an intangible service. We're here to provide something to make the world a better place. It doesn't matter to me if you're making beautiful jewelry, if you're, diving into, therapies or different coaching modalities. You're here in some way to make the world a better place, but you
Mhm.
can't do that unless you're filling your cup first. And
Yes.
so start with your morning. And there are lots of different books out there, lots of different people out there that'll advise you. If you're interested in knowing about this morning formula that Janice and I are talking about, I'm happy, happy, happy to share that. Just go ahead and, drop a comment to me somewhere in the social world, and we'll get you tuned into what the morning formula actually looks like. But the reality is, you just need to have some process.
Yeah.
Pick your process. I'm not going to get all hung up around what it should be or what works for me, but pick a process that's letting you be your best. Fill your cup first in the morning, whatever that might look like. And then the second thing that you said about music makes me think of Tony Robbins, because music is one of the few things that can actually change your state. It's like music, movement, and laughter I think are the three things that can change your mental state. So turn that music on, get up, move your body, go work out, just laugh at yourself, and
Mhm.
it will energetically change your physiology and allow you to show up differently in that moment. So now you went through this process, you've tapped into your purpose, you've tapped into this joy that you've found in helping other people build brands and build, digital assets to build audiences and leads and generate business for whatever it may be. What do you think your next move is going to be? How do you start thinking about, 2 years ago, the future Janice couldn't imagine, you know, you today? I guess I said the past Janice, not the future Janice. Now you've arrived at that. So what's the next thing? And how are you working on keeping that purpose fresh?
So the next thing for me is building out partnerships. I think that has been one of the areas that I've kind of put on the back burner so far, is to really developing those partnerships and working closely with other businesses or even corporations, right? Working on getting those brand deals and monetizing what I'm already doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, one of my focus for next year is to really do more of a deep dive into how to actually build on those partnerships and work on monetizing exactly what it is that I'm already doing.
Yeah, which is awesome, which is awesome. So as you're thinking about your business and as you're thinking about purpose and passion and you think about your clients, where do you think people need the most help when it comes into like tapping into that true purpose?
I think it's around, a lot of it is around getting organized, right? A lot of times we have so many different things that's happening in our worlds that we get clouded and we can't really focus on the most important things or focus on the things that we should be focused on, because there's just so many things and the noise is so loud that you can't tune into what's important.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I would recommend is start to start to organize your life a bit. Start to look in the different areas of your life, what's happening in each of them, and write them down, right? A lot of times we think things in our head, but we don't actually put them out on paper. And when we put it out on paper and when we make a commitment to ourselves, we're more likely to keep it than we're in our heads. We're just saying, okay, I'm going to do something. So if there is one big thing in your life that you want to work on, whether it's, business ownership, whether it's going back to school, whether it's, becoming a parent, whatever that big thing is, I want you to actually put it down on paper. Put it down on paper, put it where it's visible, put it where you can see it daily. And it's a reminder to yourself of what it is that you actually want. And then organize your life or organize the things happening in your life. Categorize them, whether it's personal, write down the personal things that are happening in your life, whether it's financial, write down the major financial decisions, whether it's business, write down, the things that are currently happening in your business and try to prioritize and organize that. And I think once we start to get organized in our lives, it then translates to our business. It then helps us to figure out where we need to go in business. So really just one, take that leap of faith. And when you do take that leap of faith, try to organize and structure the things that are happening in your life. That way things aren't like super chaotic.
For sure. And I think too, surrounding yourself with people who are already having success in doing what it is you want to do. You know,
Yes.
I said to somebody today in a comment on a post that I made, they were trying to focus on not comparing themselves. This was another entrepreneurial woman that I know, and she said, I'm really focusing on not comparing myself to other people that do the same thing that I do. And I thought, you know what, that is so true, because when we compare ourselves to other people, we have to ask ourselves, are we doing that from a position of lack? A position of, oh, well, Janice has had that success, but I could never do it. So if that's what we're saying to ourselves, like we're already starting in the hole, we're already starting down, right? But if we say, wait a minute, Janice is a smart woman, but so am I. Janice has
Mm-hmm.
a corporate background, but so do I. Janice is a mom, but so am I. And Janice was able to launch a business, shift that business significantly, create her own brand, and now secure clients and help them to do the same. So you're simply an example of what's possible for me. And
Yeah.
there is enough room in the marketplace for as many people who want to do that business as possible, because again, people are going to do business with people, and that's who they're going to attract and who they want to be around. So I just want to say thank you for,
No
trusting
problem.
in me during the time that we've known each other. I'm so glad that, whatever I said throughout this time has been a motivator and has really helped you. And I'm just so proud of where you've come and what you're doing. It's just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm like, if someone told me 3 years ago that this would be my life, I'd be like, no, I already know what I'm gonna be doing, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be making this amount of income working corporate, and I'm gonna be, live in this location, and by then I would have had this years of marriage, but be open to change,
Mm-hmm.
right? Embrace change. And the longer we take to embrace it and the more we fight against it, is the longer it's gonna take for us to actually accept it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just embrace change, and look out for your actual network to change. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's also one of the big things that has happened for me. The people within my circle went from here to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people within the circle are now people of the same mindset. The people within the circle are people who understands and can relate, and who are not naysayers, people who are actually motivating me to continue. So when the days come around that are hard, and they do, they're the people that saying, Janice, keep going. Like, what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing is making an impact. So just keep pushing through. When you shift your environment and shift the people who are connected to you or closest to you, that 10, 20 years ago you thought they aligned with your purpose, when you realize your purpose and you shift that, it makes so much difference in your life, just overall, not just business, but really your entire life is just completely different.
And I think one of the things we don't talk enough about in this space of entrepreneurship is, and I'll be, put it right out there, it's not for everybody. It is not for everybody. And because there are decisions that you will make along this journey, and because there are people and relationships and places and things that will no longer serve you, but we feel a need to hold on to them because they're comfortable. And all of that is honestly driven by ego, because our ego just wants us to stay, in that warm, cozy space. It doesn't want us to change. It doesn't want us to evolve. It doesn't want us to be different, because that's risky. And
Yeah.
we don't naturally, as humans, we don't, there's a reason we run from the bear, right? We don't want to be chased by the bear. But you've got to recognize that if you're going to reach the goals that you want in your business, in your life, it will require you to change. It will require you to be brave. It will require you to make those decisions. But if you surround yourself with people who will lift you up, if you invest in yourself, if you get educated, if you find a coach, if you find a course, if you read a book, if you listen to a podcast, all of those things are the things that are going to help you evolve into who it's possible for you to become. So again, just an
Well
amazing
said.
example of resilience and success. And thanks so much for being here with me today. Before we jump off, I want to make sure, if somebody wanted to reach out, if they wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way for our listeners to do that?
So you could actually visit my website, which is jamconsultingservice.com. So it's not services, but jamconsultingservice.com. You could find me on Facebook. It's just Janice Patterson. I think Facebook has a 10, so it's like Janice.Patterson10. So you could find me on Facebook, and you could also find me on Instagram at I am Janice Pat. So it's IamJANICEPAT.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm sure people are going to be jumping in to follow along with your journey. I know that I am. And thanks again for being here today. It's been awesome.
Thank you so much, Meredith. This has been a pleasure.